Yo guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today we're taking a look at Cold War and everything we found out yesterday from the reveal. I'm not sure if this video is going to go up the day after the reveal or the day after that, if that makes any sense, but we're just going to jump into some of the stuff that we learned and some of the new information that we've got, and we're just going to talk about the gameplay in general and what was involved within it. Just a quick disclaimer before this video does start, the gameplay you can see in the background isn't mine, it belongs to Attack of the Fanboy. I'll leave their channel top link in the description. Just quickly guys, before we jump into the video, if you are new around, smash that subscribe button with notifications turned on. We're on the road to 2k subs right now, and if you can help us hit that, that'd be absolutely amazing. Also guys, smash a big thumbs up and let me know in the comments below your thoughts on the game. I'll be really interested to see what you guys are thinking about Cold War so far. Also guys, let's try and hit 20 likes on the video, I'll be very grateful for that one. But to start off with, we're just going to talk about the game in general, and to me, it looks really good. I'm excited for the game in general, like just from watching the trailer and the gameplay that we saw yesterday. I'm actually very, very excited for the game to drop. It looks very like Black Ops 1 with the gun style, and the movement style looks very fluid, and it just looks like a great game in general, in my opinion. Some people don't seem to like the look of it so far, but I can't really see many negatives with it, and the ones that I can, you will know about from this video anyway. So the first thing we're going to touch on is prestiges. Everyone wants to know, is there going to be a prestige system? And the honest answer is we just don't know. We will not know until launch unless they put out a couple of teasers towards prestige emblems, which they've done in the past, which they've changed their profile pictures on social media to a new prestige emblem. They may do this, they may not, we don't know. But I'm assuming that the fact it's linking in with Warzone, there's probably less of a chance of it happening, unfortunately. They're probably going to keep it similar to the Modern Warfare style, as that is going to be linking in with Warzone along the lines. However, it is Treyarch. Treyarch don't usually let us down. The gameplay is always good. They always have prestige systems, and they probably would have seen how much people missed the prestige system this year, and therefore would have implemented it anyway. So touching on what we were saying about linking to Warzone, we don't know what it's going to be that links to Warzone. We don't know if it's going to be prestiges, if it's going to be levels, if it's going to be just the camos that we got from Modern Warfare, if it's going to be the guns from Black Ops and Modern Warfare at the same time. We don't know if we're going to have a class from Warzone with the MP7 from Modern Warfare and the AK-47U from Cold War. We just don't know if we're going to have two different guns in each class, or how anything in Warzone is going to work, really. We just know that they have mentioned that the camos from Modern Warfare earned will still be able to be used in Warzone, but we don't know if that then means we can use them in multiplayer on Black Ops, or if there's going to be a completely different mastery camo from Damascus in Black Ops Cold War. Just touching on that, we don't actually know if there's going to be a Damascus or a Dark Matter or a mastery camo in this game. I'm assuming there will be. There has been in the previous however many CODs it's been now since Black Ops 3. I'm pretty sure it was Black Ops 3 was the first one. But anyway, I just really hope they bring a Dark Matter back, and it's a reactive camo, and it's just a fun camo to get, and everyone actually wants to get the camo. Whereas Damascus had mixed opinions this year. A lot of people were unhappy with how it looked. It wasn't actually that special. It wasn't one of them camos that made you think, wow, he's got that camo. That's super sick. I want to grind and get that. Damascus was very like, meh. It's a camo, I guess. I'm going to do it because I like the grind, but it's not a great camo. So hopefully they do take it out there and they are reactive camos. I know it's Cold War and it's set way back when, but hopefully they just go with the camos and the operators and just make them super fun and make people want to grind for the camos and buy the new operators that come out, and just really make the game a lot more fun than Modern Warfare was in terms of customization. So going into buying things and all these operators and stuff, I'm assuming there's not going to be supply drops. A lot of people have been questioning supply drops, as obviously supply drops were a big thing previously and a lot of pay to win was going on, but I'm pretty sure because they have announced that there will be a battle pass, it's just going to be battle pass related stuff. The way you're going to earn things and get things like that is going to be from the battle pass, and I'm assuming that's going to be the only way it's going to be. And I really do hope that there isn't supply drops and it is just fully battle pass, as it makes it a lot more fun. You can grind, you can earn stuff from the battle pass, and there's no pay to win aspect of it. You're not going to go and get the best variant of a gun, and then someone who plays the game for hours on end every single day isn't going to get that gun and will be at a disadvantage just because they're not going to buy supply drops. It's not fair that way, and I think the battle pass is definitely the best way for them to do it. So obviously we know about the camos in Warzone that we've earned already, like Damascus, we can still carry on using, but we don't know what's going to transfer over to Black Ops and what's not going to transfer to Black Ops. Obviously I'm assuming you'll still be able to level up your character in Warzone or multiplayer, whichever one you decide to play the most. But we don't know how much is going to carry over because it's the fact of the two games mixing together. So it's a bit confusing at the moment, and obviously we will learn more towards launch or when the game launches. So this one's a bit up in the air, really. People don't know if it's going to be worth playing Warzone all the time or if it's not going to be. But I'm assuming most stuff will carry over between multiplayer and Warzone. As for those players who can't afford to buy the full game and only are going to play Warzone, they still should be able to earn exactly what the people who play multiplayer can. Obviously it'll be at a slower rate, but they're still going to have the guns in there as floor loot, so they'll be able to get camos that way. They're still going to be leveling up. So I'm assuming majority of the stuff will transfer over from multiplayer to Warzone and vice versa. So now we're going to talk about movement for a little bit, and movement is made more realistic apparently. The way you jump, after you jump, when you land you lose a bit of momentum. When you slide you carry on momentum, It sort of picks up momentum even rather than slowing down in Warzone, as obviously when you slid and crouch, or when you slid and got back to that crouch state, you lost all momentum. So it was a bit strange there, but hopefully they do get a movement system down to a T this year. So just from watching some of the gameplay that I was watching yesterday, like Nick Merckx and Tim the Tap and all of them sort of players playing as Scumpy, there was a lot of slide cancelling going on, and it did seem to be an efficient way of getting around the map still, which is pretty good, because obviously if you've got them momentum, if you've got their movement systems on lock, then you guys are going to be able to carry this over. However, B hopping or bunny hopping, whatever you want to call it, isn't going to be as effective as, like I say, when you are hopping, when you land, you lose a bit of momentum. So it's not going to be a case of running and jumping side to side and keeping that momentum flowing so you can get an advantage. It's actually going to slow you down, and you're going to lose momentum as you do it, putting yourself in a worse position than where you was to start off with. So slide cancelling is still a thing. Bunny hopping doesn't seem to be as effective, but we'll soon learn the momentum and the movement speeds as we get into the game and can start playing it ourselves in the beta. Next up is time to kill, and time to kill has actually been increased. I believe they've upped health to 150, which is basically you killing someone in Warzone with only one shield. That is exactly how 150 health would be, as each shield in Warzone obviously is 50 and the base health is 100, so it's basically how it is, and that's not going to change too much of the gameplay. Like, it's maybe going to change 1 or 2 bullets different depending on the distance that you're at, but there's not going to be too much of a difference there, and the weapons don't seem to have been any more powerful, so it is actually going to take you a little bit longer to kill someone. Not drastically longer, but it's going to take a little bit more time, a couple more bullets to kill each player, which I don't mind. I thought the time to kill in Modern Warfare was a little bit too fast. Maybe there were some situations where you should have got out of gunfights that you weren't intending to die on, but as you can see from the gameplay, it's still not incredibly long to kill. It's not going to be like, wow, I should have killed him and I've not killed him. It's going to be like the perfect sort of time to kill, in my opinion. So now we're going to jump into the guns and the attachments that there are in the game, and it's not limited to 10 attachments or 10 things in each class. It's not a pick 10 class anymore. You can have your primary gun with as many attachments as it can hold, I believe, and you can have your secondary with as many attachments as it can hold, as well as your lethals, your grenades, and all these other sort of things. Like this, there's no pick 10. It is literally maxing out your class to as much as you want to max it out to, pretty much, which is very, very nice, and I'm super gassed about that one. And also, touched on attachments, most of the attachments that we have seen and all that sort of stuff have more pros than cons, as on Modern Warfare there was a lot of pros. You'd have like the bullet velocity, damage range and recoil control, but then you'd have loss of movement speed and ADS speed, and it seems to be less cons and a lot more pros to each attachment, giving you a lot more customization, and I'm assuming it won't be as like repetitive with the classes you're using, as a lot of the classes you'd use in Modern Warfare, you'd just be able to know exactly what 5 attachments you want. You want monolithic suppressor, you want the biggest barrel, you want commando foregrip, you want extended mags, and you want a stock or perk or something like that, or a sight. So you pretty much know for exactly every class what's the best class, just without even trying it out. So hopefully this is going to add a lot more variety into the game, and we are going to see some good classes going on. So now we're going to touch on kill streaks. They're sort of like what they was in World War II, but less rewarding for the worst players and more rewarding for the better players. So if you're going on a long streak and you're about to hit a nuke or whatever they're going to put in this game, which we actually don't know, I don't believe what that is, if there's even going to be something like that. But when you get to that sort of area, if you have UAVs, for example, I believe they have a 90-second cooldown. But if you've had that 90 seconds while you're still on your streak, you can then re-earn a UAV again. So you can keep streaking up, and it's going to be made easier because you can keep calling in UAVs every 90 seconds because you're going to keep earning them, which I think is a really cool idea, as there's been many times where I've been in situations where I've been on like a 28-29 kill streak, and I just don't know where that last enemy is because I've not got a UAV in yet, and I lose sights on all that sort of stuff. So just to be able to pop UAVs continuously, depending on how well you're playing, it's going to make streaking up a lot more easy, and the best players in the game are really going to start running away with kill streaks, and they're going to really start being able to get these score streaks throughout all the game. The worst players are going to struggle more, and that's just how it's going to be, because more UAVs are going to be getting popped. The better players are going to be popping the advantage kill streaks for them. They're going to be able to get these kill streaks to help them out get to the bigger kill streaks, if that makes sense. So I'm really excited to see how this is all going to work out. But apparently it's very balanced from what I've heard, and what a lot of people have been saying. It's a very balanced way of playing. Score streaks aren't rewarding for the worst players and less rewarding for the good players, if that makes sense. So I'm excited to see how it all works out. So now when it comes to maps, the maps look... some of them look quite big, but a lot of them look very good in my opinion. They don't look too confusing. I've picked up on a lot of the map routes already, as obviously it is the standard 3-lane system for a 6v6 game mode, and it's going to be made a 5-lane system in 12v12, I believe. So nice and easy to remember. Very, very typical Call of Duty style. Modern Warfare took away from that, and that was a really strange thing. Not a lot of players liked the multiplayer maps, and hence why a lot of people weren't playing multiplayer unless it was shipment. But so to see the 3 lane coming back is amazing. Like, this just going to make multiplayer so much better. Everyone's going to enjoy multiplayer, I think. A lot of the maps, some of the maps do look pretty big where the vehicles are, like the one with the boat, I can't remember what the map's called, and the sort of deserty looking map. However, the maps look open, the maps look easy to get around, and that open space makes it easier for you to be in that area, control an area. And they don't look too big where you're going to be playing ground war maps where it's going to be, you're not going to see anyone. They're just, obviously the movement's good, you're going to be able to get around the map quicker and quick enough to get some kills. And from all the big maps that I've seen, Scumpy and players were like that will still easily drop in 40 kills against other pro players. So if you're just in a standard lobby where you're just playing against whoever you're playing against, you're going to be able to drop loads of kills and get around the map nice and quickly. So the maps aren't too big and they look very good so far to me. So mounting is something that isn't in the game this year, which is a bit of a strange one. I don't know how they're going to implement it at Warzone, as a lot of players use mounting to get into that advantage point and just beam at a distance. So to see that disappear from Warzone is going to be a bit weird and have to take some getting used to be honest, because there are a lot of times where I will find myself seeing an enemy far away and I'll pull out my LMG, the Bruin or whatever I'm using. I try and mount up and just get that easy beam on the opponent, but if that's not an option, you're going to have to try and make sure that recoil is really well controlled if you're going for them long range fights. Also, in Domination is one thing that I did notice. I've not paid too much attention to other game modes, but in Domination, as you may see in some of this gameplay, the zones to be capturing the flag is a lot larger, meaning more people are going to be playing game mode and game objectives because there is that full big area of the map to capture the flag, if that makes sense. So a big question that everyone is asking, is skill-based matchmaking a thing? And we don't know is the honest answer, but Treyarch, I'm hoping will try and save it. I don't think Treyarch will want skill-based matchmaking in, but I believe Activision and Infinity Ward are going to be in control of that sort of thing due to Warzone and that area. So I'm assuming it's probably going to carry on the same as it is right now. But hopefully, because Treyarch do usually have a rank play, that it is going to be pubs are normal. Whoever you're playing against is who you're playing against. Hopefully the lobbies don't disconnect at the end of each game. Hopefully they stay together, and if someone chooses to leave, that's their choice. But you're not going to leave a lobby, get put into a halfway played game because you've just finished the game. So hopefully the lobbies stay together and match voting comes back in. That'll be the main 2 things that I want to see from the lobbies. And obviously, hopefully skill-based matchmaking isn't a thing, which is where it'll be in ranked play. Obviously, ranked play, you play against other players, and you get played against other players of the sort of same level as you. So that's why it's ranked play, you earn rewards and all this other stuff. And pubs should just be standard. Whoever you put up against, you'll put up against. It should be done on internet connection so that you have a lot of fun playing and there's no lag, but you're not worried about who you're playing against. You're not going to be playing against people on the same level as you. So you can just pub stomp a little bit and play against some of the worst players. And then again, you're going to come up against some of the best players. So it works both ways, and that's why no one likes skill-based matchmaking. It just ruins the game for everyone. So hopefully they do take that out and introduce the ranked play as they normally do. So guys, that is about everything that I've got to say on Black Ops Cold War right now. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this video and it's given you some more insight on how the game's going to work and what we can expect to see when the game does drop. If you have enjoyed this video, smash a big thumbs up and let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments below. Like I said, I'm really interested to see what you guys are thinking about the game. Is there anything that you want to see them add to the game, or do you think the game looks pretty perfect as it is right now? Obviously it's just an alpha that we've been watching and the beta will be out soon, but they're hard to judge it on. We're not going to know everything until the actual game has launched. But so far, what are your thoughts on the game? Hopefully you are just as excited as I am for the game to drop. And if you are, like I say, smash a big thumbs up. Let's try and hit 20 likes on this one if possible, boys. But make sure you are subscribed with notifications turned on. Like I say, we're on the road to 2K subs, and there'll be plenty more Cold War videos coming in the near future. Also, check out our Twitch streams. We stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That can be found in the description along with all my other social media and the link to Attack on Fanboy as we are watching their gameplay in the background right now. But yeah, guys, I appreciate you watching all the end, and I'll catch you in the next one in a bit.